Hello guys and welcome to the 5th episode of From Tutorial Island to a Bond. In this series I made a fresh level 3 account and I'm going to get a bond on this account in free to play. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, go check them out. Anyway guys, this episode is going to cover the free to play crafting training and how to make money with crafting in free to play. Please enjoy. So you can get 9 crafting by doing all the free-to-play quests, including Misthalin Mystery, Shearer and Goblin Diplomacy. And I actually did the balls of wool myself, so I gained a little bit XP from those also. After getting 6 crafting, you can start making gold necklaces, and those are pretty nice money, but usually after 8 crafting, when you make the gold amulet unstrings, you get a lot more profit per hour. And also the XP will be higher. And after you get higher crafting levels, you can start making sapphire rings or sapphire necklaces or emerald necklaces or rings and so on. Those can be more profit than doing regular gold items, but there's a downside. It is a lot less AFK. So I prefer doing the gold amulet unstrings anyway, even if I could do everything else, because it's so much more AFK and I really like doing these while doing something more intense on my other account or editing videos or something like that. So I was pretty much doing the gold items all the time when I was on the computer. So during all this time I managed to make 37,819 gold items, and most of those were the gold amulet unstrings. I did a few thousand gold necklaces because they were more profit at the time, but usually you should be making more money from the gold amulet unstrings, because people in members use those for the string jewelry magic, so they pay large amounts of cash for those. I also made 2,700 gold items with gems, mostly emerald amulet unstrings and emerald rings, I think, because those were the most profit at the moment I was doing them. But always check the margins if you're going to do those, because sometimes sapphire rings might be most profit and sometimes it's emerald or even ruby items. And because there's so many bots doing this, I think that's why sapphire rings are not so good anymore, and they're pretty much usually just the same profit as doing regular gold items. But for bots it's better GP because they can do it as efficiently as possible. So doing the gold and gem items took me around 3 hours and 15 minutes if I would have done them efficiently, but I did some AFKing with them, so I probably used more than 4 hours. And for the gold items, by doing it efficiently, I would have used around 34 hours if I would have made 1100 an hour, but I think mostly I did like 800 to 900 an hour when I was AFKing, so it took me a few hours more than that. And I actually used a lot more hours on these methods than I was planning on, so after making all of these gold items I actually had the money for a bond. But I still wanted to do some methods to show you how to train them nicely and so on. So next video will be about training other skills and being ready for members, even though I have the bond already. And the most gold amulet use I sold with 60 GP profit, but I think if you want to sell them quickly and buy the gold bars quickly, you can expect around 50 GP profit per item. But I was actually able to get like 100 GP profit at the time, because there was nobody else selling the gold amulet unstrings. So sometimes you might get really lucky. And for the emerald items, my profit was around 116 GP profit each. So there are some rough guidelines on what profit you should be expecting. So the normal gold items usually are around 50,000 GP per hour, pretty guaranteed. And the emerald or sapphire items are usually around maybe 80 to 100,000 GP profit, could be even less, depending on the bot situation. And then at the end there's the tanning cowhides method. This is not really related to crafting because it doesn't give you XP, but I think it's a pretty nice method and well-known method, so I just wanted to try out how much profit it is. So I bought 1000 cowhides and I tanned 500 into leather and 500 into hard leather to see which one is more profit. And for these also you should check the prices from GE before doing it. So my average was 2.3 thousand cowhides per hour tanned. So I was doing this pretty efficiently, I think, so I think that's what you should be aiming for. And if you're going to AFK a little, it will be less than that. And while I was doing this, the profit for hard leather was 34 GP, and for normal leather it was 30 GP each. And if I would have waited for them to sell, I think it would have been even more than 10 GP more profit each. But I just wanted to instantly sell them, so that's the profit that it was. So for me the hard leather was 78.2 thousand GP per hour and the normal leather was 71.3 thousand GP per hour, which I think is pretty nice considering that you don't need a lot of money to do this. Even like 50,000 GP is enough to do this, but more than 100,000 would be a little bit better. And if you want to sell those for higher prices, then I think you could get like more than 100,000 GP per hour, which is pretty nice. And this has no requirements also, so it's a very good method. Although I don't really like it, I would just make the gold items to get some crafting levels also. But anyway, that's all for this video. Next week I'm going to have a pretty interesting video. I made a Revenant alt account and I'm going to show you if it's good profit still or if you shouldn't do it, and some interesting things are going to happen in that video. When this video is uploaded I will be on holiday, so I have pre-recorded the material for the 2 next videos after this. Anyway guys, have a great summer and thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe if you like this one, and as always, have a great day. MrGrauman out.